women's bathrooms or dressing up as women or pretending to be a woman in order to get a gold medal in an Olympic sport, because that's just happens, when you transition, suddenly you're really good at sports.
Thank you for listening to the Nubian Comedic Spectrum Incorporated channel.
Perverted brain, it would do that. Not because anyone else is a pervert, it's because you're a pervert. Because it would only occur to you, perverted cisgender dude, to be like, well, I could just go up into women's restroom and then I'll touch all the boobies. No, man, no trans person thinks that. You think that. Because it's the same thing where, this is so stupid, whenever men are like, oh yeah, if I had boobs, I'd touch them all the time. Hey, as a woman, do you touch your own boobs? No, we don't. We don't actually.
They trying to explain all this transgender stuff. I personally feel until they get the public bathroom situated, that they need not to be rushing it into the public schools. That's just my opinion.
The argument that is typically made by gender theorists is that
watch how Neil deGrasse, watch his expression, just watch. Don't listen to what they saying, watch his expression. Because he be on some fake stuff too, as intelligent and brilliant as he is. I consider Neil deGrasse part of the white apple effect too. A boule elitist and or associate is what I consider Neil deGrasse. So no, I don't think he's for the black community, but I don't think he's 100 against the black community either.
This only matters because today we segregate nearly all sports by gender. Otherwise, why do you even give a shit? What someone identifies with? So we live in a free country, and with consenting adults and people free expression of who and what they are.
Yeah, an adult level, I agree with you. I think it does matter what you take.
Okay. And so there's the matrix of what you are biologically, how you express yourself, who you choose as a sexual partner. If we actually live in a free country, as we tell ourselves, people's freedom to behave in any of those ways should not concern you at all. Nor are they requiring that you behave that way. Okay? This is for their own freedoms, because we live in a free country.
Look, I love that he uses the
you see how
typically championed by conservatives.
Right.
Freedom, country, and no one's forcing you to do this. I think that it's effective, and if you watch the full conversation, right. Shapiro kind of struggles to respond to it.
It's so big of Shapiro. I'm sorry, but just hats off to little Ben Shapiro for having someone who actually believes that the Earth rotates around the sun instead of the other way around, as many of my viewers probably believe. And I know it might trigger some.
Why they get so upset that people don't accept the LGBT way of life, and that we questioning why is they forcing it into the school and this critical race theory into the schools for these children, and we don't agree that young children should have the choice of saying they want a sex change operation. I hate to even say these words. And when I say consensual, do what you do, don't mean that I agree with it. It's more like I agree to disagree and to walk away. I don't necessarily, when I say it's consensual, blah, 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 it's out of respect. It's not out of acceptance. So get that straight. I don't agree with all this LGBT-ish way of thinking and these theories and all that. I don't support it. I support real pro-blackness.
Simply speaking, the Spanish language does not make me part of Europe. Speaking English doesn't make me part of Europe. These two languages have been forced on my people for the last 500 years. Whether you are from Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guatemala, a reservation in Arizona, Mexico City,
She's saying that she's not Spanish.
have been kept ignorant, subservient to European culture. We are victims of colonialism. A colonialism that began in 1492.
Started
We
earlier
are
than
not
that.
the children of Cortez. We are not.
Like, why do you support Black Lives Matter? This is the big reason why. Don't worry, guys, I'll be supporting this with history.
She's saying Filipinos are black.
Asiatic black people. If you find this topic interesting, keep watching.
Oh, it's interesting and very much needs to be addressed.
Okay, guys, so before you violently react with my statement, Filipinos are black, please hear me out first. And one of the reasons why I said it is that because we have our indigenous people here in the Philippines that we call negritos, and this is how we look like.
But y'all are
These
colonized.
are the indigenous people of the Philippines. They are the negritos, but most of the time we call them Aitas.
I hate this.
The negritos term was applied during the 16th century by Spanish.
These are
settlers
Asians.
because they said that they look like people from Africa, but the shorter version, because their typical height back then was around 5 feet 5 inches for men and 4 feet 8 inches for women. And this term is still used mostly in Southeast Asia and Asian Pacific island of Papua New Guinea. So of course, this is not the only photo I'm going to show you to prove my point. But just based on this first photo, you can definitely say that not all Asians look like
Team Thornton Channel. Filipinos are black. Published June 12, 2020.
Hard. Can be hard. Another proof that Southeast Asian people are black. This is one of the famous literatures in China during Tang Dynasty. This is entitled Kunlun Slave. The term Kunlun is equivalent to negritos. And this is all about martial arts, romance, and black slavery. And based on the story, the black people are from Southeast Asia and Africa. Next, Orang Asli of Malaysia, meaning first people. The government officially recognized them as the region's earliest inhabitants. But prior to this, they were also called Semang, which means meaning first people. The government officially recognized them as the region's earliest inhabitants, but prior to this, they were also called Semang, which means dead slave. It is because way back then, they were also abducted from their homelands and sold in slavery. There's a lot of studies.
Yeah, your phenotype proves and shows that you are colonized, but you can still have black in you. Whether your parents are black or not, you can still have black DNA in you.
Australia and neighboring island of Tasmania was once their domain. I'll be talking for
Don't mean you black,
all the evidence
just melinated. Don't mean you black
but
though.
this is an example of how they
Or you could be black. I'm not your father. I'm not the creator.
A genetic population group that is called haplogroup M. They belong to the same ancestors, and they are believed to be the first humans that migrated out of East Africa from around 60,000 or 80,000 years ago. Haplogroup M is found almost exclusively in Asia. So these are the reasons why I do support Black Lives Matter, other than I have relatives that are black. I have a cousin who is married to a black guy with beautiful Asian kids. I have a partner who is also a black man.
Well, you got to get your education part, but and this is a step.
All lives matter.
I say that this is a step of addressing the issue of our people, melanated people all over this world, history and birthrights.
Every blessed day. Why don't we speak out and help them, support them? Coming from a Filipino who were once a slave in their own country, we should understand that. So these are my thoughts, and it's all up to you if you will accept it or not. But I will. So these are my thoughts, and it's all up to you if you will accept it or not. But I will embrace it. And honestly speaking, I think almost all of us are.
I don't quite accept it, but I don't denounce it either. That's my
So if you
opinion.
have any thoughts about this topic, please